Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. We are a community of women who are aging beautifully and who still have a passion for makeup and beauty, take care of their skin and believe that a healthy skin is beautiful skin. We know that makeup is not going to take away any of the wrinkles or the age spots or do anything to turn back the clock, but we can have fun with it and we can enjoy doing some transformations. Now, I love to do product reviews and makeup makeovers, tutorials. And we want to do one today that I've never done before, something completely different. I normally do kind of a day look. I review new products, especially foundations, which I think are so important. And also, how to just play with makeup for fun, for a daytime or an afternoon, evening look. A lot of people have been asking me, come on, Margaret, why don't you do something a little more dramatic? Let's do a smoky eye. Now, a lot of women over 60, 65 say, I don't want to do a smoky eye. My eyes aren't right for that. I'm going to look silly. I'm going to look like a clown or like a, painted lady. But I thought, well, let's have a go. And I did some research on some ways that you can do a smoky eye that are a little bit less intense. I mean, we've all seen the great YouTube transformations that you can achieve with a smoky eye. But the key thing is to go easy and to use, I'm going to show you a couple of little tips and tricks that might help you to soften the look. And also to not, try to do too much. But not just to put like a black eyeshadow on and, some mascara and say that is a smoky eye. You've got to, I think, layer a little bit, which I'm going to share with you. So I have no makeup on at all. I'm 71 years old, so you can see that there's a lot of little wrinkles and age spots, and that's just how it is, and I'm at peace with that. But I'm going to do kind of a reverse of what I normally do, which is to do my eyes first and then put on the foundation and blush, which is the way that most people say to do it, because you then tend to get a little bit of fallout from the eyeshadow. So you want to do your eyes first and then go back in and do the rest. So let's get started. And I'm going to, first of all, say I did do my eyebrows earlier. I have a little challenge with eyebrows, and I use this product called Maybelline Tattoo Brow. I use it in the blonde color, and this has become a really good go-to for me. I use it, and I've done it before we started because it's kind of tricky with, without a mirror to see exactly what I'm doing. The brush is kind of cool. It's got like a stubby little brush, and for me that works really, really well. But you'll have your ways of getting your eyebrows into order, and they're not twins, they're sisters, as you can see. But my eyebrows are done, so that's finished. Now I'm going to use two palettes today that are my favorites, and I don't think you can actually get one of them now. The company is Eri Due. It's an Italian line, and you can see when I start looking at these, using them, that they're pretty well used. But I chose these because they've got colors in them that I will use, in combination. But you can use any of the same color idea with any combination of eyeshadows that you've got. So that's the first one I've got. I have two of them, two palettes. And the colors in this one in particular, if I can do it without the mirror, are really kind of cool because they've got a black and a gray and a kind of purple color, which are going to be ones I use along with this base color, this brown. So let's get going, and I'll see what we can do to transform these eyes into something that's really perfect for an evening look, or just something that you want, where you want to experiment. Now I'm going to use Revolution Conceal and Define eye concealer as a primer for my eyes, because I want to make sure that everything stays on. And this is a really great foundation or concealer for that purpose. I'm going to use my fingers. I'm just going to pop it on with my fingers and put it all over the lid of my eye. It's really got a nice texture to it. It's got a lot of substance, and I put it right up under my eyebrows. I've got a little challenge with my eyes. I'm going to work on that little teeny bit in the center later, but I'll just put this on to get started, and we can have some fun with this smoky eye. I'll put some more on this side. Okay, so that's just a primer for the eyeshadow, which is going to follow, and I'm really happy with this Revolution. I also use NARS concealer, which I'm going to use for the center part of my eyes in a minute, but this is a good start just to get things going. Just check in the mirror. Okay, so that's going to make sure that the eyeshadow that we use stays in place. And I'll put some brightener later. Okay, so that's the beginning. Now, the way that I'm going to start with this is to create a defining kind of line between my eyelid and the brow, this kind of defining line. And I'm going to use it a very simple brush. I'm not into sort of expensive brushes, and I use this one for just about everything. It's just a little fluffy brush. It works really, really well for this this process. I'm going to take this color right here. Now you can see this is pretty well used. Where is it here? This one here, which is kind of a taupey brown. It's got a little bit of sparkle, but not very much. It's actually more matte. So I think that's the approach, is to find a taupe color that's got, you know, a good color that looks nice on your skin color, and then just do this, starting with this line here. And just, it's that crease between your eyelid and the top of your eye. And just go backwards and forwards. It's really important that you blend this super, super well. And I don't want to sit here for hours kind of blending to show you, you know, kind of what you need to do. But just that, grab that part between, above the lid, and just go backwards and forwards for, you know, 20 times, and make sure that it's nicely blended. We're going to even this all out as we go along, but this is an important first step. And I'm going to just pay attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, so that's the first step. Create that line between your eyelid and eye, top of the eye. And I'm going to go back on the other side and do this here. Try to get it the same, more or less the same color. They say windscreen wiper movements is the best way to look at this part of the application. Just backwards and forwards, just catching that bone above the eyelid. And just going backwards and forwards. The reason that this is important is this brown color really creates later a nice balance between the black and the rest of your eye. It just gives you a bit more texture, more to work with. Now, using that, now you've pretty much wiped off all the brown on that that motion of defining. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right balance on the two sides here. Okay, I'm going to just go back in on this other side a teeny bit more. So let's just keep working this. It looks like a lot already, doesn't it? But I mean, I think you're going to find that the smoky eye is all about layers rather than about loading on a black eyeshadow. That just isn't going to work. And I'm just going gently backwards and forwards and trying to get these two sides even. Now, some of you have hooded eyes, and there's a whole technique for doing smoky eyes for different shaped eyes, but I'm going to just see if this is kind of okay. Yeah, it's, I'm going to just work on this teeny bit here. Okay, I think that's more or less even. I don't know why this side's a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm going to just leave it there for now and then go to the next part. And that is to choose either a gray or a purple, some kind of nice darker color that is going to go just underneath this on your eyelid, but not quite all the way on your eyelid. You can use this brush, by the way, just to now bring a little bit down. Just to even that line between the defining line there and your lid. There's not very much left on the brush, so you can just be very gentle and just fill that in. Okay, now if you want to choose purple, there's a very beautiful purple in this palette, or gray. I'm going to choose that purple because I kind of like purple with green eyes. And just I'm using the same brush, and I'm going to take that, little bit of that purple. There's a very nice lilac too, but I'll use this darker purple and just put it a little bit under, just really almost as part of that line, but just more towards your eyelid. But just give it a little bit of color and texture underneath that line. Okay, I'm just going to grab a bit more there. And you almost can't see it. This is going to get covered by the black eyeshadow in a second, but you'll start to get a sense of that tonal separation, which I think is really, really nice. So just let me check my mirror again. Okay, okay, that's going to work for a minute. Now we're going to go up and do something at the top in a minute, but that's a pretty good start for this smoky eye shading. Now, next step is to take the black. Now the black, you can use a pencil, you can use all kinds of things, but I'm going to start first of all with a liner. I've got a Huda liner, which I just purchased, which I absolutely love. It's a pencil on one side, it's called Huda Beauty. It's got a pencil on one side and a liquid eyeliner on the other, but their pencil is beautiful. And I'm going to do that before I put the black on my eye lid, so just to get the eye liner in place. And I'll do that just by little dashes all the way across. I find that it's really difficult for me to do like a straight, like drag it along. It's easier just to use like a gentle touching movement. That works for me. Okay, I think that's probably going to be a good start. Okay. All right, that's good. Now, I'm going to put the black on in a second, and then I'll also do the under the eyes as well. But for now, let's just work on the top. So next step is, I'm going to, by the way, go back on that purple because I want to put the lighter purple there just to get a little bit more of the purple above where the black is going to go. And I always just wanted that to be a bit more visible. Okay, so I've got darker brown here, purple in between, in the middle, and now I'm going to put the black on the bottom. And in this palette, there's a really nice black, so I'm going to use that. I'll use the same brush. It's just, I'll use the edge of it. It's like a slanted brush. And I'm going to use my mirror because it's easier to do this while I'm looking. Now, you don't have to put a ton of it on. It's not necessary to go completely crazy. But I think that, you know, it is a smoky eye. That's kind of what we're trying to achieve. So let's just do the other side. And just, if I can just show you quickly. So you can still see the brown above, and you can see the little bit of purple, and the black just isn't so dramatic anymore. And blend this all in nicely. I mean, just take your time to, you know, blend it in and feel comfortable with it. It's you. It doesn't have to be, you know, super intense. That eyeliner, by the way, is so pretty. It goes on so easily. Okay. So that is the beginning, smoky eye shading. I would like to, you know, just highlight again, though, that I've probably gone darker than maybe a lot of you would go. But, you know, I wanted to sort of show you the way that an older woman can apply a smoky eye and not feel overly painted. But so that's kind of the start of it. Now, I've got this NARS eyeshadow or concealer, which I'm going to put just on the top of my eyes, just to give it a little bit more. I mean, the color is now fairly dramatic between the two of those colors, so I just want a little bit to soften it and on the top. And I'm going to put my makeup on, of course, in a second, and that will all blend together a little bit. But that's just a way to kind of make it pull together. Okay, so that's what the beginning is. Mascara, of course, is next, and that's one of my favorites. I'm using my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I don't even know if you can get this anymore, but it's just the best brush and the best mascara in the whole world. And I'm going to put that on in a second, but let's do the bottom. The way that this has been described to me is to do the same thing on the bottom that you've done on the top, you know, in the sense of putting first the brown along the very lower lash line. This is eyeshadow, just very gently. And then take that purple color that we used and just blend that in as well. Very lightly. And create on the bottom the same thing that you've done on the top. And then, of course, use your pencil then to do the bottom lash line, which I never do this. I never, ever do this. I always hesitate. But I think you'll see when I put my foundation on how this is all going to work together really well. And I'm not going to put too much on the bottom, even though that is, in a way, what makes a smoky eye. It makes it really dramatic. But I'm going to just be gentle with the bottom. And the mascara, of course, is the touch, you know, the beautiful finishing touch. Some people would put false eyelashes on at this point, but I'm going to just use mascara. So here we go. This is a very nice mascara. It's got a big enough brush that it separates and gives volume, but at the same time it defines. It's a really nice product. I think a lot of people like this mascara. It's super popular. It's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Okay, here we go. All right, mascara is, I think, such a dramatic touch to this smoky eye. And if you can do this properly, oh my goodness, to me, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking, wow, that's a pretty dramatic look, Margaret, for you. But it's okay. It's an evening look, and it's gonna be, when I get the rest of it all on there, you're gonna see the difference. And I'm going to work on that line. So I probably would have spent a lot more time blending, but I'm going to just. Okay, so that is, I'm going to go back and touch up in a second once we get the foundation on, but just to finish with that, because it's important that you see the whole picture. I'm using one of my favorite foundations, Ciate of London. It's 106P is my color, and I'm going to use something that I've never used before, which is the Taupe Beautiful, which is like a powder puff applicator for foundation. It's really, really cool. It's like a, I don't know how big you can describe that. It's looking strange in the mirror. So it's just a few inches in diameter, but you can just use it by folding over and applying your makeup. You can use it for applying eyeshadow and blush, and I'm going to use it for both foundation and blush. So let me put some of this Ciate on my wrist or on my hand, not too much, a couple of squirts, and then just start putting it on. And you'll see the eyes look really dramatic with no foundation on, but this is a great applicator for foundation. If you haven't tried it, I love Tati. I think she's a really sweet woman, and she's a great artist, a makeup artist. I've discovered her channel, and I learn a lot from her. I don't think she's done, I didn't watch her do a smoky eye, but yeah, she's very innovative. She has a beautiful eyeshadow palette, and she also just released this product. It's beautiful, and it's, for me, I use it all the time. I think maybe it's kind of interesting for older women, because do you remember we used to have like these, powder puffs? And that's kind of how we used to put powder on and apply makeup. And it's kind of come back full circle, these tools that we're very comfortable with ourselves. And yeah, it's just back in fashion, back in style. So it's not even fashion or style, it's just functionality. It's just a super cool tool. And it works really well because you're able to get, into the skin and press in. And it just, as I said, nothing's going to take the wrinkles away, but this does help you to kind of minimize, or at least fill. And it doesn't crease or crack. So I'm watching carefully under my eyes so that I don't do too much damage to what I've done with my smoky eye. But I'm going to just check that foundation and make sure it's okay. And the secret, I think, another thing with, I'm just going to use a bit more. Gosh, it's such a nice foundation, the Ciate. It's really, really lovely. It's matte, but at the same time, it gives you a really nice glow. It's very, very sweet. Oh, wait, I'm going to show you something with blush too that's really nice. You'll like this. So that's my foundation, and you see the eyes actually kind of it all starts to come together after a little while. I'm going to just make sure I've got everything rubbed in. Oh, here we go. Okay, so blush. I'm going to use blush from my Erdoué set, and this is another great blogger, a guy called Wayne Goss, Goss, and he showed this technique on his show. He's got a great channel too. Take any beautiful light. I'm going to use a pink in this pink here. Very, very gently. Don't go too crazy with a smoky eye, with everything else. That's the focus. So don't go too crazy with blush, but I'm going to use just a little bit, just a tiny bit, to get a bit of a glow on my smile. And then Wayne suggests that you take your highlighter. And in this palette, there is a highlighter as well, so I'm going to use that. Just take that, again, a small amount, and put it all the way over your blush. Not just as a highlighter, but all over. And then, after you've done that, go back with the blush again, a small amount, and then just put it back on. And you'll see it picks up a bit more color when you've done that. It's a very strange phenomenon. And then just go, right, just bring it up to your above your ear there, and smile. Always smile. So that's it. That's the blush. I think that's probably even-ish. Let's have a look and see. Now, I could have applied that, by the way, with the Tatty Beautiful. You could just take another section of the beautiful brusher and try it. So that's it. And also, I think that actually the eyes are looking okay. I mean, to me, it's a really dramatic look. I would only do this if I was really going out and trying to, accentuate my eyes and really have fun with, in a kind of intense look. But let's put some lipstick on, and that will tone it all down and, hopefully give some balance to what's going on up here. Lip liner is Becca. I've fallen in love with Becca. It's an amazing product. And this was called Blissful. And it's really the most beautiful lip liner. And you can go up a little, oops, not there. You can go up a little bit over your lip line. Okay. So that is the first step with my lips. And then the second thing I do is I put a little bit of this Huda. It's a beautiful, it's called Jet Setter. It's one of their matte lipsticks. I put that on next as a kind of a sealer, and then I do something on top. I do this actually with my lipstick every day. I use the Huda as a base. It's really lovely. You can always use it as a lip liner. Painting. It's like painting your lips. But I'll let that dry for a second. I want to just go back real quickly to my eyes and just make sure that I've blended everything. I'm going to use the Blenderful and just check that it's all even, because you do, with that much eyeshadow, you can sometimes get a little bit of fallout there. Okay, all right, so that is the second step of my lips, and then the final step is lipstick, which is my Milani. I think it's called Romantic Rose or Natural Rose. And again, you don't need to do a lot of color, in my opinion. You can do obviously a red lip if you want it to be super dramatic. But I think if you're going to do eyes that are strong, you want to just put something on the bottom that's a little more gentle. Okay. All right, I think, play with lips forever. I think that's it. I mean, that I think is, for me, an okay smoky look, smoky eye look. It's not too intense for me, and I could comfortably, feel like I've just had fun with makeup. I've done something that's a little bit different, a little bit special, and I'd love to know your experience with this. Do you wear a smoky eye? Do you like to put a lot of makeup on your eyes? Did you find this technique of layering with a brown and then maybe a purple or gray, and then with your black is helpful? I think it just makes it work for an older face, for me. But anyway, I'd love your feedback, and enjoy beauty, enjoy fashion and makeup as an older woman. It's just, it's just something to do to bring a little sparkle back into your life and to make you feel on the inside, and to look on the outside the same way. Vivacious and happy and enthusiastic and beautiful. And you're all beautiful. Just feel that way inside. Take very good care, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your support, and look forward to speaking again soon with a new wonderful beauty makeover or product review. Bye-bye for now.